Howdy to all my friends on FoodTube, Danny here. So today I'm with a very special young food blogger and food writer by the name of Hugo Harrison. How are you?
I'm good,
Hugo?
thanks. Very good, thank you.
And we're in Suffolk, and today Hugo is going to show me, and more importantly you, how to make sourdough, from the beginning. Hugo, tell us a few little tips about sourdough, and why should people at home make sourdough from scratch?
Well, there's a couple of things really. It's really wholesome. There's only 3 ingredients in it: flour, water and salt. So you can use it basically with things you've got in your cupboard already. For a lot of people with gluten intolerances and things like that, because it's such a long process, most of the gluten is broken down, so it's quite easy for people to eat as well. And it tastes delicious as well.
Fantastic. Let's get stuck in.
Right, so we're going to start with the water, the first thing.
Yes.
You want it kind of warm-ish, about body temperature, so when you put your hand in it should feel about the same, quite warm. And so yeah, we're going to start with that.
How much?
We do 640 water.
Yes.
So next, this is the sourdough starter, so it's nice and bubbly on top. The tip is if you dip your hand into the water, just like that, and basically instead of pouring it in, just grab pieces out until you're at 270.
And you dip your hand in the water, so...
Yeah, you can do big bits like that, that will be alright.
Wow.
And then if you look in there, that's good signs that it's nice and ready to make bread with. You just want to go around until you go through and there's no clumps on your hands. Right, so the next thing is our flour. A similar thing.
Yes.
Get your 3 or 4 fingers and thumb fixed, and you just go around in a motion like that. It'll ride up the sides a little bit, the flour. So if you just pull that in like that. A good way is if you get your fingers, go underneath, pull out and stretch over the top, and that's a really good way of incorporating it, just like that. Yep, that's perfect.
Okay.
So now you just want to get the scraper and just go down the sides like that. And just bring up the sides just to incorporate that tiny bit on the top. Just like that. There you go, that's perfect, yeah. And then we're just going to cover this and set it aside for an hour. So now what we're going to do is add the salt. So we didn't add that before because that hinders the yeast a little bit. So we just need 22 grams of salt. So if you put that on top of the dough, just like that.
Yep.
And then if you use your fingers to just push it in, just like that, that's it. Nice in and out motion. And then just add a splash of water and just mix it together like we did before.
Splash of water all over it?
Yep, just a little one. That's perfect. That's enough.
Okay. And now mix it again?
Yep, just mix it again. That's it, perfect. Pull it out from the sides and push it down into the middle. Just going to pull it out onto the worktop like that. No flour on the worktop.
No flour?
So what you're going to do is, you want to, like you're holding a book, you don't want to use claw fingers, you want them together like that, like you're holding a book. You want to go underneath, slap it down and fold it over like that.
Whoa.
That's it. And then you go from the side,
Sorry.
like that, no?
Wow.
And you just want to do that, and this is basically kneading. What you're doing is, you're slapping it, you're stretching the gluten and folding it over, so you're introducing air as well. Back in there like that. Perfect. And cover it with a tea towel or cling film, and we're just going to leave it for another hour, and that's it. Right, so these have been in an ambient place for an hour after we just added the salt, so you can take them off. Smelling a little bit more sour.
Yes.
So now we're just going to use your hand to just scoop round and ease it off the side.
Okay.
That's it. Right, so now what we're going to do is just wet your hands like that.
Yep.
And then we're going to scoop under. We're going to lift this up and fold it down. That's right. Stretch it up and fold it down. Perfect. Then we're going to go from the bottom and lift up and fold over.
Like before?
Just like before, yeah. There you go, that's perfect. And if you feel your hands getting a bit tacky on the dough, just wet your fingers again.
Yep.
Then we're just going to gently put it on its side. It's almost like a letter fold when you're folding a letter. And you go up into the middle, like that, and just tap it down. And then stretch up into the middle again.
More cake.
There we go.
Another half hour.
Just half hour and then that's it.
Okay.
So this has been left again, it's had another hour, and so we're ready to shape it now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get some, put that there, put some white flour onto here. That's perfect, yep.
Fairy fingers.
There we go. So we're going to scoop this up. There you go. Put the flour on there. Okay. Right, then using a dough scraper, or you can use a knife. You're basically just going to roughly mark it in half, like that. So we put it nice and flat. Just using the little bits of our knuckles, we're just going to knock a little bit of air out of it.
Oh, I like that bit.
And then we're going to flip it around like this and fold it up into a ball like that. That's it. And just bring it around. There you go, perfect. That's right.
What about that little mess?
That's fine. We're going to sort that out now.
Okay.
So what you're doing is using this hand as a barrier so it doesn't move across the table too much. With this one, you're going to use this lining bottom bit of your hand to just push it around like that. That's it, perfect. And you just want to use nice quick movements and pull out at the end so it doesn't get stuck to the floor. And you just go around like that, using this as a guide to bring it back to where it was. And then when you start to see these lines across here, that's when there's enough tension in the dough and you don't need to shape it anymore.
Tension in the dough.
Yeah, because you want it nice and tight, so it's not loose. Because if you tip it out and you haven't shaped it properly, it's just going to spill out all over your baking stone. So there you go, that's perfect. What we're going to do is hit that onto this hand, just like that. There you go, and we're just going to curl it up slowly like that. That's right, just edging slowly to the top so it comes together. And then it clasps, and we're going to put it in there. And we're just going to sew that seam together with our fingers like that. And then a great way, you can use cling film, but a brilliant thing is if you've got any of these lying around, a shower cap on the top, put it up so it's got some air. Just like that, there you go.
And how long?
So it's not sticking.
Yep.
And we put this into a fridge for 14 hours. Danny, wake up, it's ready.
Oh, heavens. I was asleep for 14 hours.
Which incidentally is exactly how long this has been in the fridge, rising.
Oh my goodness me, it's all
Just like
happening
that.
here in Glen Grenham.
So we've
Shower
used
caps off.
yeah, we've used shower caps here
Oh.
because it keeps the top of the dough moist.
Yep.
Yeah. You can see the rolls here, that's where we shaped it. So it still hold it a little bit of its shape.
Okay.
You want to be quite gentle with it, so to keep all the air in it.
Yep. Now it's ready to bake.
And now it's ready to bake.
What temperature?
What you want to do is put in a baking stone at the top, a tray at the bottom with lava rocks, which you usually just use, you know, a gas barbecue.
What do the lava rocks do?
So basically, when we put the loaves in, we want to introduce steam into the oven, and it keeps the outside of the bread wet, so it can keep rising for longer. Because if it gets dry, it will be stuck, and so the gas will be wanting to escape, and it won't be able to. So we'll create steam using the lava rocks. Just with a sports bottle like this, just squirt some of the lava rocks and create lots of steam, and the loaves will get a nice voluminous loaf.
People don't have lava rocks, do they?
What you can do is just put in a tray, a brownie tray for example, something you'd use, something like that. Heat it up and just squirt water into the tray.
Okay.
But the lava rocks just give a bit more surface area for the water to evaporate onto.
Fantastic.
So, what you want to do is you want to do, when you tip the bread out onto the baking stone, we're going to cut it with this, which is basically just a razor blade on a coffee stirrer. It's slightly curved because what you want to do is run the blade along the loaf so it's almost running under the skin of the loaf. So say if this was the top and this is the skin, when it's turned out, we're just going to run it along diagonally like that twice, and that creates a point where gas can escape. Because if you don't do that, sometimes you'll bake it and you'll have burst sides and holes coming where you don't want them and things like that. So we're going to do that. So we're going to get out our baking stone, which is hopefully nice and hot.
Oh, there's the lava rocks.
And then the lava rocks in there, yeah.
Okay.
And you need to be as quick as you possibly can.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is, careful not to touch the stone because it's going to be really hot. You're basically going to tip the bread, give it a little shake until it pops out. Like that. There you go.
Whoa.
Perfect. Right. So we're going to cut along like that. There you go. Do you want to do that one?
Why wouldn't you just use a knife to do with this, Hugo?
You can use a serrated knife. Perfect. That's it.
Yes.
Great. But a razor blade, it lets you get in a bit deeper and do a bit of a sharper cut as well.
Wow.
So we're going to open that out. Put these in. Take this one out so they've got a chance to...
I can smell it already.
I know, yeah. And then we're going to
squirt your lava rocks
at the bottom.
Wow.
So we'll create lots of steam. Close it up.
Turn it down.
Turn it down. So about 230 and bakes for 45 minutes. Fantastic. That's it.
Is that 230 fan?
230 fan, yes.
Oh, listen to that sound.
Crunchy.
Crunchy. So now the best part is to taste this sourdough bread that Hugo's shown me how to make. We've got marmalade, we've got Vegemite, and I'm tempted to put marmalade on it, or even Vegemite, not at the same time. But I'm just going to have it just plain and simple with a little bit of butter.
Straight up, yeah.
Because I really want to taste that flavour. One for the teacher.
Lovely, thank you.
And the students. Great. The crust is delicious.
It's actually, it looks quite burnt, but it's actually caramelised, so it's kind of got a sweet nuttiness.
Really good. So if you have any comments or suggestions about this sourdough bread recipe and this video, please leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for lots more fun and simple recipes from around the world. Thank you, Hugo.
Thanks, Danny.
Ciao.